What's up, guys? It's your boys Awoki back with some more of the crime talk on here, and we are looking at, which hundreds of you guys have been wanting me to take a look at, which just happened not recently, 3 or 4 days ago, which is, I don't know what's in the water in Colorado, but holy crap, we have another murder that has taken place, or murders, I should say. A woman by the name of Kimberley Singler had killed her 2 children. One of them is injured and is now on a manhunt. Now, with that being said, the police received a phone call just before 12:30 a.m. A reported burglary at a complex at this location. I'm not going to give all the information. Hills on December 19th. When the officers arrived at the scene, they found 2 children deceased, a 9-year-old girl, a 7-year-old boy, and an 11-year-old girl, and an adult woman that was injured. The adult woman was identified as 35-year-old Kimberley Singler, who is the mother of all 3 children in the residence. On Tuesday, investigators established probable cause and obtained an arrest warrant for Kimberley Singler and the following charges. This woman has a rap sheet. Now, before we go any further, if you guys could do me a solid favor, which is subscribe to the YouTube channel by hitting that wiper icon down the bottom right. Hit the bell icon next to it so when I do post videos like this one, you guys will get that little ring notification that I've posted that video. Then you guys can watch, comment, like, and share. And again, thank you guys so very much for the love and support. We just hit 35,000 subscribers. We're trying to get to 50K so I can give one of you guys a Meta Quest 3 virtual reality headset. And anybody can use this thing. It's for videos, gaming. I mean, you can learn on it. I mean, there's so much to do on it. It's ridiculously fantastic, and you can get yourself one for free. Now, with that being said, let's get into the video of more what we're here for with Kimberley Singler. Now, if you guys see her, there is going to be a phone number in the description for you guys to call and let the police and authorities know of her whereabouts. She's on a manhunt. Obviously, they're trying to find her. This is an active investigation, and anyone with the information or who is witnessed to the investigation can ask the Colorado Springs Police Department at this number, which will be in the description. Or if you wish to remain anonymous, you may call the Crime Stoppers tip line in the description, or another phone number as well. You know me with kids. If it has anything to do with kids, I'm on it. I think kids should never, ever be murdered at all. There is no reason for a child to be murdered. And for these girls, or these children, to be murdered by their mother. Now, I don't know too much about this case, because obviously it's freshly new. It's December 19th, which just happened within 11 days ago. I'm going to be watching a video from the YouTube channel, brain fart, crime or true crime rocket science. So they're going to give us a little tidbit of information of what's to come for the next couple days, or hopefully not weeks, that they try to find this woman. But this woman has like 2 counts of murder in the first degree, 2 counts of murder in the first degree, 1 count of criminal intent of murder in the first degree, 2 counts of child abuse, class 2 felony, 1 count child abuse in the 3rd felony, 1 count of assault in the 1st degree, class 3 felony. She has a $10 million bond. Thank the Lord, this woman, if she's ever caught, hopefully, knock on wood, she'll be caught within a couple days. Singler was last seen Saturday, which this was posted the 28th, so yesterday. So like they're on their way to try to get her. Hopefully, fingers crossed, they get her. The police said her current whereabouts are unknown. Police tell 11 News that the 11-year-old girl is not with Singler and is safe and accounted for. Oh, thank baby Jesus. Okay, at least 1 child is safe. I wish the other ones were as well, but the news broadcast this afternoon releasing indicated that the police are seeking information concerning the whereabouts of Kimberley Singler, in connection with the murders of 2 of her children and attempt the murder of her 3rd child. Why? What is in the water at Colorado? No offense for the people that live in Colorado, But a lot of murders have been taking place in Colorado for some reason. Since the news release, Kevin Wentz and Wentz family have received multiple phone calls and other attempts to obtain comments. Mr. Wentz and his family are currently a tremendous amount of grief. I'm guessing this is the father. I'm guessing they're separated. The family is respectfully requesting that you honor their request for privacy at this time, so nobody bug them, so they may grieve and gather more information about it as it becomes. Mr. Wentz and his family will comment on the investigation at a later date. So we definitely want to help their family get the justice for these two children that are 9 and 7. It hurts me so much, again, as well, because my son is 11. My two daughters are 10 and 12. This is right around their age, and I could never see myself ever hurting my children. So with that being said, we're going to take a look at this YouTube channel. Again, it is True Crime Rocket Science. So make sure you guys go over there and give them some love. But maybe this will shed some light of a little bit more in depth on the case itself. So let's take a look.
Police accused of killing 2 of her children, injuring a third at an apartment complex earlier this month.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear. Thoughts build up until I can't. My mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I got nightmares in my head, I fear. Thoughts build up until...
Hello and welcome to True Crime Rocket Science, the most authentic voice in true crime. 35-year-old Kimberley Singler has been missing since 2 days before Christmas, so for the past week. It's been a week of high drama in Colorado Springs, with Singler summoning the cops for a burglary, something that appeared to be a burglary, on December 19th, only for them to discover 2 of her children murdered and Kimberley and her eldest daughter slightly injured. They were rushed to hospital 4 days later when the cops realized many of her claims appeared to be unfounded.
So she was lying.
They had probable cause to arrest her on 2 counts of first-degree murder. That's of her own 2 children. Kimberley was gone, and she's still...
Hold on. What does that say? Killer mom Singer was told to hand over her children to her ex in a legal battle days before kids' bodies. So help me, she murdered her kids because she didn't want her ex to receive them?
Her own 2 children.
Or she's going to say it's some dark being.
She's still gone. Clearly, this Christmas has been a nightmare, a holocaust for this family, and it's not over yet. Before we get to the rest of this episode, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do.
Go do
we'll
it.
We'll be following this up
Here
with an analysis of the Ramsey case, looking at some apologia in the documentary John Bonet's America.
I remember that
so
case.
For that. If you're enjoying this analysis, please like, share, leave a comment. You can also hit the thanks button, and let's get started. You can see Christmas, or what do you think? Do you think Christmas is relevant to this particular crime taking place? Contextually relevant? Well, according to Denver 7, quote, new documents, court documents reveal there was a rocky custody battle involving a Colorado Springs mother who is accused of killing 2 of her children before she disappeared. And if you go through the narrative, I'm not going to go through it in too much detail, but it goes back all the way, more than 4 years back in time, all the way back to May 2019, where this whole battle begins. And it's all about custody. It's about custody of the kids. It's about...
So that means murder your children. How stupid can you be?
Singler requesting the court to put time restrictions in terms of the custody of their 3 children, in terms of her husband, her ex-husband. Singler filed the petition for divorce from her ex in 2018. So this rocky, acrimonious divorce has kind of been going on for the past 5 years.
Chris Watts,
and the
where that
custody
started.
aspect hasn't been settled.
Jesus
now,
Christ.
Without knowing too many additional details, I guess one can assume the following: that Kimberley, on the approach to Christmas, felt frustrated, felt aggravated with the custody limitations she was faced with, and ultimately took it out on her children. Do you think that's an unreasonable assumption to make? Well, you can't make it in a vacuum, and we are going to deal with some of the court filings that she's done, many of them, between 2018 and now. And I think one of the most important ones to deal with is the last one. But it does make you wonder, did she run out of patience? Did she basically blow a fuse in a sense, and basically
No
just
excuse.
ran out of patience and kind of felt like, if I can't have them, you can't either.
So dumb.
Meaning over Christmas. If I can't have them over Christmas, you won't either. And you kind of do get a feeling that, as I say, Christmas was an important time. So if we look at the filing on November 7th, right, that is around about 2 months ago, a month and a half ago, not very long time ago, 6 weeks ago, the court denied Kimberley Singler's request to be excluded from polygraph testing. 10 days later, after hearing testimony on the matter, the court decided the ex-husband would not endanger the children's physical health or impair their emotional development, and terminated the restriction on his parenting time. So she was already kind of going out, all guns blazing, trying to get her husband out of the picture. Anyway, at this point, the court ordered Singler and her ex-husband to communicate solely through the parenting app Close. And that's according to reporting from Denver 7. But this is the crucial part. According to the article, Singler was ordered to bring her children to visit her ex-husband between December 16 and December 31. Now, how I understand that is that they were going to spend Christmas and New Year with her ex-husband. And you can kind of get the feeling that was the straw that broke the camel's back. Did you kind of get that feeling? I mean, December 16 to December 31 is...
Okay, so I can tell you from right now, from my experience, I have a blended family. My son is from my ex-wife. My 2 daughters are from my current fiance as we speak. I love them all dearly. I don't care if they're not blood related. I love them dearly. But I am not going to have any kids today, which it makes me sad. I'd love to spend time with my kids. All 3 of them are gone to their respective other parent, or my daughter, she's with her friend for tonight. She wants to spend New Year's with her friend, which is fine. But my son is with his mother. Now, I'm not going to take my son out because I'm not going to see him for New Year's. Okay? I didn't see him for Christmas Eve. I understand that I divorced my ex-wife. I'm not trying to bring myself into this. I'm just trying to use myself as an example, because I'm not looking for pity or anything like that. So please don't put that in the comments. But I'm stating that my son, unfortunately, I don't get to see 100% of the time. Through my divorce, I get, I think it's like 56% of my son, and my ex-wife gets 44% of my son. I get more holidays. There's holidays that I would love to have him on, like 4th of July this last year. I have him, or I had him. I won't have him next year. Christmas Eve, I don't have him. New Year's Eve and New Year's Day this year, I won't have him. I will next year, but I'm not going to take my son out to punish my ex-wife because we are the ones that caused our divorce. Had nothing to do with my kids. But I'm going to sit there and call him and tell him that I love him very much and that I will see you after the holidays. Just because you have a holiday does not mean you have to celebrate it on that day. People celebrate Christmas on all different days. People celebrate New Year's. I mean, yeah, okay, you celebrate on New Year's Eve, but you'll have New Year's Eve parties on different days. I mean, this is no excuse for her to do this to these children. Again, you birthed these children, and yet you took them out for punishment on your ex. Don't kill your ex, but don't take it out on the children. A 7 and 9-year-old, and then almost the 11-year-old. This is what you do. I hope you're watching this, Kimberley. If you're watching this, I doubt that you're watching it because you're on the run and you're trying to figure out. You probably have a phone, but if you did have a phone, you probably threw it so they can't track you if you're smart enough. But if you see this, turn yourself in. You did the crime. Now it's time to do the time. Or it's time for you to turn yourself in to do the time. Makes me sick.
Essentially 2 weeks, and 2 weeks where kids would be with her ex-husband over Christmas.
Get over it.
The most arguably the most important time of the year, especially, being with your kids.
Every day is important.
And this was to make up for time that he missed when the accusations against him were being investigated. So you kind of get this sense that this is like adding insult to injury. She didn't want her husband to be with the kids, and now he ends up being allowed to be with the kids as ordered by the court during this crucial time period. Singler was scheduled to meet her ex-husband with the kids at the Colorado Springs Police Department Stetson Hills substation at 9 a.m. on December 16. Well, 3 days later, everything happened. So you can see how things were building up. And I can take you through the timeline. I think I'll rather just leave the article link there, and you can see all of the various incidents in terms of the...
I can't wait to see her in handcuffs.
Battle. May 22, 2019. Restrict the amount of time. That's from Singler's side. August 28, Singler does not respond to the court's attempts to contact her. In 2020, the case is transferred to another judge. January 5th, 2021, Singler files a motion to move the children to Florida. She wants immediate sole custody. October 20th, 2022, her ex-husband files an emergency motion to prevent the kids from being taken away. May 13, 2023, the ex-husband asked the court to modify the parenting time. And can you see how it's all kind of...
So the son is...
I think the other thing, this whole thing about...
So the father was trying to protect his kids, and yet it doesn't sound like the emergency for protection was valid. So he tried to protect them, and now his daughter, 9, and his son, 7, gone because the laws, whatever. Some days I feel like the law is just, I'm not even going to say it.
Moving the children to Florida, one has almost the impression that when they got divorced, the one parent perhaps wanted to live somewhere else, and then they couldn't see their kids. And so that may have added an added dimension of stress to this whole thing. In any event, we don't know whether Singler attended that meeting that she was supposed to attend on December 17th, 16th. According to Denver 7, it is unclear if Singler showed up for that meeting, but
Probably
court
not.
documents said her husband made an emergency motion for police to enforce the custody agreement the next day, December 17th. Just 2 days later, 2 of her children were dead. Singler and her 11-year-old daughter were found injured at the residence. Officers also found a 9-year-old girl and 7-year-old boy dead. It's really sad, isn't it? The real permanent casualties of this long, tedious process.
Did not deserve it.
Singler and her injured 11-year-old daughter were taken to a nearby hospital. She was allowed to leave, and police thought at the time that she was a witness to a crime, that she was a victim of a crime.
They need to lock everybody
Later
under
on, they
key.
realized that the burglary report was unfounded. The good news is the 11-year-old child is safe.
Thank God.
This case, I must say, is elements of the Caitlin Armstrong case, in that the cops had a face-to-face meeting. They had a chance to, to capture and arrest Kimberley, with people lying at the scene, not alive, little children, and then they chose to let her go, and now they can't find her. And, you sort of wonder, how did the police not know about this custody battle? But then I guess certain parts of a police department don't necessarily know what the other parts are doing. Does murder and robbery know about child custody? But I suppose there was nothing wrong with making a phone call in that respect. I also think this case has touches of the Letitia Storr case in terms of a murder disguised in a narrative of something else happening. In this case, as a burglary, you've heard quite a few people do that, where murder is...
She lied about it.
Described in a narrative by the perpetrator, by the alleged perpetrator, in different terms. It's also quite interesting how often modern crimes involve the element of staging. In any event, this is a developing story. Kimberlee Singler is on the run, and there's a manhunt to find
Please
her.
somebody
So we'll
find
see
her.
what the developments are. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you guys next time.
Hopefully the next video that I post about this will be her arrest. If you guys have seen her or will see her, again, those numbers are down in the description. I'll post them down there for you guys to use at your discretion if you do see her. Kimberley Singler, if you see this, turn yourself in. You did this. It makes me sick that you did this. Your children loved you, I guaranteed. There's no way that you could have brought this up on the computer. They research your name, all that information. You did a DUI, you did this, you did that, you did this. Okay, we're going to hold them just for a little bit until we figure out exactly what's happening, and then we'll release you afterwards. But no, they're like, yeah, go ahead. No problem. Gone. Now, hopefully, she doesn't unlive herself and then take the easy way out, because that's not the way to do it. Chris mentioned that he was going to try to do that, but he couldn't succumb to those circumstances to do that. But hopefully, fingers crossed, with everybody that's on YouTube, the news, the investigation, we will finally find her and bring her to justice. So with that being said, comment your thoughts down below about the case when it comes to her being the murder. Like, I just don't get it. It makes no sense. People just don't think anymore. They just go with the first thing that they snap about or whatever have you. If you are going through a custody battle, I can tell you it's going to suck. It's going to hurt. It's going to eat at your strings. It's going to tear your heart apart. Trust me, I lost my son for two to 3 weeks because they had to investigate me for abuse. And guess what? Nothing happened. Because she didn't want me to have my son. Good parents deserve their children. And as much as my son shouldn't be around his mom, I still want him to have his mom in his life. But again, she doesn't abuse him. But I'm just stating, every child deserves a parent in their life. If it's a guardian, your mother, your father. But for you to try to take him away from the father and then not get your way and then take it on the children, no excuse at all. So with that being said, again, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate your time. I probably rambled on too much again. I don't need any... Sorry for me. I want it for Kimberley, or not Kimberley, but for the kids that lost their lives, for the family of the father that is mourning and his family. But let's try to find her. I know it's a lot to ask, but we have cameras everywhere. Something and someone is bound to find her. Hit the like button for the justice and make sure we get this up there so everybody can find out more about this woman. The more people that know, the more it's going to be hard for her to hide. And hopefully we'll see her in an orange jumpsuit and in handcuffs getting her sentence of life in prison. Or if not more. Death penalty. But again, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one. Keep it real, keep it safe, and as always, keep nerding on. And we will see you guys next time.